Huh? Hey everyone, we're TowawayCouple. I'm Tom, the driver.
And I'm Bunny, and I'm permanently on vacation.
I don't know what she's giggling about. Why are we permanently on vacation?
Because this job is so fun.
Well,
No.
It's not really fun. Let us put it in perspective. It's very boring at times.
Yes.
But we
yes.
get to see places we've never seen, so it's almost like being on vacation.
Right. West Texas. Very boring.
Very boring. Don't run out of fuel. Don't go below half tank.
But no, as far as like permanently being on vacation, the fun things that we get to do and see after we deliver. I mean, sometimes delivering can be a job.
Hey, check this out.
Oh, green means go.
No, it means the bar is open.
Oh, that also means green means go.
Green means go. All right, so today we're going to revisit our DOT sleeper berth.
Because we just reinstalled it.
We just reinstalled it in our new truck. We'll put a couple pictures up here right now. So we kind of posted, and immediately we got responses that it's not legal. It's don't log sleeper berth. We have a cheap RAM because our windows don't roll down.
That part does suck.
That does suck. So, give you an explanation. Do we team drive?
No.
No. So when we first got the sleeper berth, yeah, it was a huge investment. It was like $3,100 installed, and the mattress in it sucks. I mean, to meet DOT requirements, it has to be an inner spring mattress.
Now the thing is the size of maybe a baby crib.
Well, it's long.
It's long, but it's
not.
narrow.
It's about the width of a coffin.
Yeah, it's horrible.
So when you're going down when Bunny's driving and likes to hit every pothole, bridge transition, bump, pebble, anything on the road, I literally was bouncing upwards to 6 inches off that mattress and slamming back down.
Now, one thing with the DOT sleeper berth is it does have a net that goes over the top of me and hit that inner spring mattress. It saved our lives a couple times.
It did. So yeah, we were going to team drive, and we were going to double our money. And like I was going to pull a trailer to California. Bunny does a motorhome to California, and it takes 3.5 days to get there because you can only drive 11 hours in a 14-hour window. And coming back, we can drive literally 24 hours a day between 22 hours a day between the both of us, but with the overlap.
Right.
We could, because you could be on duty and sleeping 14 hours, so times 2. So we could do it within the 24 hour. And we could be back to Indiana 31 hours later, hooking and booking again.
Right.
That was our thought. And we quickly realized after, 2 runs? Now, the sleeper berth paid for itself the first.
It did.
The first run, because we didn't make any money, but we had a sleeper berth. So it was like, we paid for fuel and got a free sleeper berth. That's the way we looked at it, because fuel prices were at their all-time low at that point. I think we were paying $1.85 a gallon in Missouri or some stupid ungodly price. So we were able to get to California for about $500 and then turn around, and it'd take us about $200, so $700, and the job paid $3,900. So the first run to California paid for the sleeper berth.
Right, it did. But also too, now I know a lot of people will be like, oh, they didn't make that much. We have a short wheelbase.
Right.
And we don't have the high gears in that truck, so therefore we get really good gas mileage in that truck.
Yeah, we get about 13 miles per gallon with the trailer, and believe it or not, 23, 24 miles per gallon unloaded because we have 373 highway gears, and we don't drive 80 miles an hour.
Right. So, yeah, we were able to do it with that way. Also, too, now we don't team drive. We just figured we don't...
We don't like to be apart, and we want to be awake, experiencing life together.
Right. And when you get on those long hauls, and you're coming through Wyoming or Montana, and it's 2 and 3 in the morning, and it's dark and desolate... It's a lot easier to have somebody else awake with you or to just pull over and sleep.
Exactly. You don't have the driver fatigue. I mean, the semi-trucks are a little more geared towards long-haul operations.
Now, we do have friends that do it, but they were truck drivers, so they were used to it.
Right.
And, hey, it works great for them, but for us, it didn't.
It didn't work for us. And other people, I'm sure it would work fine for. Me and Bunny have been married 36 years. We literally have been together 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for at least 25, if not more years. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, literally working together. We're always this far away from each other all the time. We're not, like, controlling, not jealous or anything. We just like to be around each other.
Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yep, so for us it didn't work, but we did put it back in the new truck.
So what we did was we put it back in the new truck with no intentions of logging as in the sleeper berth. We're still doing our 11 hours of drive and 14 hours. I guess if we had to, if we wanted to just drive a couple more hours, we could, but we don't want to get into the legality games or anything like that because it's a kind of a different animal to log as team drivers. We like hotels, so we only put it back in our truck for emergencies. And
the whole reason why a lot of people ask too, why'd you get another truck? Well, we didn't want to have the issue of a breakdown, not be able to get it. But mine, I specifically wanted the dually with the a bench seat. So that way, if we have to pull over and sleep, then we each have our own place that we can sleep and stretch out.
So we learned that we needed our sleeper berth back in. We took it out of our other truck about a year ago, and it's been sitting in California. And when we got stuck on the freeway, there was fatalities near Flagstaff. Bunny took the back seat first and left me on the front seat. I'm a lot bigger than her, taller and everything. I didn't sleep that well. She was totally back there comfortable in all of her blankets and everything. But even then, she wasn't even that comfortable because she was laying on the bench seat back there. So we opted to put it back in there for the width.
Right.
As well as give us more depth on the bed.
Because what a lot of people don't understand too is on the DOT legal sleeper berth is you have to remove your standard door panels and your speakers and all that stuff. They are concaved in, so they give you that extra.
I think it's like 4 inches on each side or so. It gives you the legal width of a legal defined sleeper.
Right. So now that the bed is set back up back there with the door panels in that are supposed to be in, Tom being 6 foot, he can completely stretch out across that.
From side to side, no problem. I still even have a couple inches of room. We did lose access to our windows, so we can't use our DOT window hangers in that truck anymore. That's a sacrifice. That's all right. We are currently debating, should we put decals on the window or should we just stick with magnetics? But somebody came up with a great idea, because I took a picture of our magnetic on the door and said, now that we installed the DOT sleeper berth, should we stick with the magnetic or go with the decal? One answer was, if you love your company, go with the. If you have pride in your company, put the decal on. I'm not that loyal to my company. I love my company, but it's still my personal truck, and I'm not advertising for my company. They're paying us to pick up their loads. So I don't think pride has anything to do with it.
Well, and the fact is too is we don't run as hard as a lot of people.
Right.
A lot of people are just turning and burning. We're like visiting family. So yeah, 50% of the time that truck is on personal conveyance.
Right. So if I put the decal on the window, it would only be for just for ease, and I wouldn't forget it or anything. Somebody else came up with a great thought, was they put their magnetic on their bed because if it leaves scratches, it's not as noticeable than dead center on your door, front or rear. And I thought, oh my God, that's that. I didn't think about that. I was just thinking that people were putting it on their bed because it looked cool. Right. So we're going to be doing a video on magnetics and different places people put their DOT numbers on their truck. Pretty soon. We've been wanting to do it for a year. Now, we did leave the innerspring mattress at home in California because we're not going to team drive. We are not, technically you do not sleep in your truck. If you get pulled over by DOT, you're allowed to take a break anywhere. You could take a break on a park bench. Don't tell them that you sleep in your truck because technically it's not legal. Right,
and you know that. Like everything else, that's all going to depend on your DOT officer.
Exactly. So people have told them that they make a bed in the back for their dogs.
Yeah.
Even though they're personally using it. But so with that said, we do it. We haul stuff around, luggage. We have all of our stuff. So it's still a flat area. But we did put memory foam literally from the back of our seats to the back of the truck, the whole width. And we climbed back there.
Right. We actually just used it the other day because it was a long haul and we were tired. So we just pulled over and got some extra sleep.
Right. We did not reinstall the net. No, it's not for sale. People can't find those nets.
I know.
But even if you find the net, take an understanding that without the door panels removed, I mean, you can remove the door panels. And you have to, the platform has to be a certain width to make it a legal sleeper berth. But our platform is actually mounted in our truck. We could flip up and have access to our storage compartments. And our platform is all welded. It's metal framed and it fits the exact measurements. Our door panels give us the extra width, and then the net makes it legal. Go watch I'll put a link to our DOT sleeper berth at the description of this video.
Yes. Yeah.
And then that we explain why it's legal.
And it's funny because people are like, oh my God, you put the sleeper berth back in, so you're not going to stay in hotels? No. Yes, we still are.
We're still going to stay in hotels. We might sleep in there if we're only going to be a couple of hours somewhere, and we're not going to pay for a hotel if we're only going to be a couple of hours. Right.
And the fact is now, too, with rising fuel costs, you have to never say never.
Right. And we might have to sleep in there. If a hotel is $200, we're not going to pay $200. So we will sleep in the back of our truck. But if the hotel is in our budget, and our budget's typically the $80 threshold, we're hoping for lower, but we might go a little higher, but $80 is our threshold. We put that into our expenses, and while a lot of people will say, you can only make money in this business if you sleep and eat in your truck, and that is not true. We've been doing this now for 2 years, and we enjoy hotels, we enjoy eating in restaurants, and you got to remember, you either can write off a hotel or pay taxes to Uncle Sam.
Right. And you know what, like he says, we enjoy eating in hotels too. But depending on where we're
eating hotels?
Eating in hotels. Eating in restaurants. I'm getting ahead of myself. But we typically take all the same routes. So we know where we can stay. We know what we can afford as far as the hotels. And if it comes to eating sandwiches while we're driving just to stay in a hotel, then that's what we're going to do.
Exactly. So we budget things. Again, somebody else may not be able to afford it because of their circumstances. We're empty nesters. Our house is paid for. And we also have other sources of income. This isn't our only source of income. And just because we have other sources of income doesn't make us less of RV transporters that some would like to make us believe. It's just we thought ahead of the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep. There is a lot of retirees out there, too.
There's a lot of retirees with a lot more resources than we have.
Right. And then you've got the family people that are supporting their family on this.
We totally understand it. If you have 3 kids at home, a house payment, car payments, insurance, food, utilities, a wife, girlfriend at home, or a nanny, babysitters, school clothes, all that stuff. Yeah, this is a really tough business to be in, and staying in hotels is really hard to budget at that point.
Right, absolutely.
I'm not saying that you can everyone can stay in a hotel and eat in restaurants. It just, everyone has different means.
And everybody's situation is different than the rest.
Right. When we go to California, we stay at my dad's house. Mm-hmm. We visit my dad, we visit our daughter, we visit our granddaughters. When we come back, we pop over at my brother's in New Mexico. That saves us a hotel. And when we go to Florida, we stay at our son's house. So we're not always in hotels, but we're also able to visit a lot of family.
Mm-hmm. Hence the reason why we don't run as hard as everybody else.
Right, because when we go visit family, we spend about 3 to 5 days there. And then we go, well, we better go back and make some extra money. But when we're in Indiana, we have our apartment here because we are spending so much on hotels and food that after over a year and a half, we started doing the math. We can afford an apartment here, even if we never stayed in this apartment a month at a time. Like, we did not stay
all of March.
Or
February, mid-February to March.
We didn't even see the apartment. We still paid for it, but we know it's here. But we know we would have spent that money in hotels and Elkhart.
Right.
And food.
The way we look at it is you have to be happy in your job. Well, I mean, technically you don't have to be happy in your job, but we do. We like to be happy in our job. And for us, being happy is not living in the back of our truck.
Correct. So, with all that said, yeah, we put our DOT sleeper berth in. Just give you a recap. Mm-hmm. We do not intend to sleep in our truck unless it's an emergency or we feel that the hotels are out of our budget. And it gives us more room to put stuff in because we work for another company, so we might be hauling a bunch of other crap around with us.
But also, too, we're also big on options, so it gives us yet another option.
Yes, and we should do a video on options.
Yes.
Maybe we'll do a video on options next, and we won't change clothes.
Oh, Jesus.
Unless we win the lottery.
I wish. You can't win if you don't play.
Right? All right, so anyway, we wanted to do a recap of our sleeper berth. Because, they're totally legal. They're totally legit. I had to show a guy
you have to do your research on it. The one that we have is from Woodhouse. And you can buy it directly from them, or you can buy it at Dan's Hitch, and those ones are a legal DOT sleeper berth.
Certified.
And
Dan's Hitch charges, I believe, $500 to install it.
It's worth every penny.
Yeah, because when our son-in-law installed ours, it would have just been easier if Dan's Hitch, who knows how to install them, just did it. And that would have been so stress-free because you have to take everything off. And you'd almost have to... Because we took the sleeper berth out, we knew how it was to go back in. Had we just bought the sleeper berth and just installed it, we wouldn't have had a clue, and we would have been totally screwed because we would have been duplicating our work.
And our son-in-law is a mechanic, so it's not like it was just, somebody
right,
from
and he's
home
a good mechanic. So,
but there's a big difference on somebody who's a mechanic and somebody who installs them all the time.
Right. So, anyway, that's our whole story of the sleeper berth. We didn't put it in there for any team driving reason. We aren't using the inner spring mattress. I think we're going to go check out Elkhart Bedding Maybe we'll do that on Monday and see what it would cost to actually have a custom mattress made for that.
Right, because one of the things too with that sleeper berth is being that mattress is so narrow, we have a lot of room between the back and the mattress. And if you were to put that mattress in, you just roll right off.
Right.
So right now we just have cushion. It would be nice to have a custom-made mattress just to fit right in there.
Correct.
Then we may use it more.
Well, then we might actually use it. Who knows? I just have to pee like 5 times a night, so I don't actually get good sleep. If we're in a hotel, I just walk to the bathroom and walk right back. When we're in a truck stop, I got to put my shoes on, go inside, and if it's 20 degrees out, I wake up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, when you're our age, we pee a lot.
Right.
I do. Bunny's like a camel compared to me.
Nature takes over.
All right, so we just thought we'd have a little fun with this video and explain, yeah, it's legal and all that other stuff. We just aren't using it for its purpose anymore.
Right.
All right?
All right.
So until next time.
We'll see you down the road.
We'll see you down the road.